Hello, this is Lena and our captain Ayra, the very one we met during the live broadcast. By the way, he works as a truck driver and just stopped by to see us while he was on his route. And here you just have to faint because our legs were literally in the ground. You know what? You can wash your legs, there's nothing scary about it. The person was working and something unpleasant happened to him. Basically, he had to get really dirty somewhere. But luckily, we have a shower in our new salon and we washed his legs perfectly, took care of everything. By the way, once he even had this kind of inflammation on his toes with pus, and he suffers from ingrown nails twisted like a ram's horn. They're so round like that. The arch is very badly deformed and of course it causes him a lot of discomfort in his life. So now we're getting to work. Here I wanted to show the bit I already mentioned. I think it's from the brand Crystal, but I'll definitely leave a link to it. And these are special bits that are made for pedicures. And I also showed my new extractor from Faux Blanc. It's really a cool thing. It has both a light and a vacuum. But let's get back to our main character. What did I want to tell you about him? He has been suffering from ingrown toenails for a long time and has tried to deal with them, or rather with these problems, in many different ways. But he has never used a correction system before, so we decided to use one this time. I also asked him how he used to manage trimming his nails. He said sometimes he did it himself and sometimes his wife helped him. But this time things went too far. His nails became thick and of course he couldn't trim them himself. But that's not surprising because you need special tools for that. And not everyone has those at home. Look, for example, we have special nail clippers. They're made of a very hard material like hard steel or iron. I don't know what they're called exactly, but the main thing is that they don't bend when you're cutting your nails with them. And regular household scissors or clippers, of course, simply might not be able to handle it. About the rust on the tool, I see it too. That means it's time to use the sphere. Well, in the meantime, we're applying Prantamen spray. This is needed to create the effect of steamed skin. And now we're going to use a more precise tool, the curette and straight cutting nippers. Because now we need to clean everything out of the sinuses, everything we can get out of there, and there's quite a lot of buildup from life activity. Pay attention to how much can be taken out from there. With all the pieces you could assemble a small person, but that's unnecessary, so we're simply cleaning it out. And right now, you can also clearly see the dents left on the skin from the nails growing in. Naturally, this causes a lot of discomfort for the owner of these feet, and it needs to be taken care of as soon as possible. We cut off everything that can be removed to relieve the condition, and he already feels better now. Don't forget to thin out the nail plate. At the very beginning, I showed that this is done with a bit. It's carbide and specifically designed for working on nails and skin, not for removal, although you can also remove material with it. I tried it. You can use this kind of bit, for example, if you have a client who comes in with very thick nails after, let's say, an unsuccessful extension. But right now, we're going to use this bit to work on the nails and the skin. Many people might think that this will hurt, but that's absolutely not the case. And these bits, apparently because of the way the notches are arranged, don't heat up as much as others, so it's very comfortable for the client. And we've already tested this more than once. They say it's very pleasant, there's no vibration, everything is smooth, it comes off like butter. That's how we remove it. Of course, we didn't plan on doing a full pedicure, we just decided to trim the nails. It would be a shame to leave them like that. Naturally, our main focus is on the big toe. And now we're starting the preparation, applying special products so we can place the titanium thread. About the titanium threads, what did I want to say? No matter how many times we show it or explain in detail how it's done without taking the proper training courses, I strongly do not recommend doing this. Because in the course they teach not only the sequence of applying the liquid and the method of installing this plate, they also cover the condition of the nail plate, the causes of ingrown nails, and much more. Generally speaking, knowledge illuminates while ignorance obscures. Videos on YouTube are good, of course, but I still think it's better to take courses and really know what you're doing so you don't cause any harm. Then you need to know which formulas to use and so on. All schools teach very differently, meaning some work with certain materials while others use different ones. I can leave a link to the place where we studied. It will be in the description below the video. Moskva for anyone interested. And in general, you can come from another city. We came from Kazan because we really needed it. So if you're really interested, you just need to come and learn. By the way, I'm looking at the hair on his fingers and thinking that maybe I shouldn't have offered depilation, since he's a man after all. But for some reason, after comments like, couldn't you have removed the hair on the legs? I think about it every time, even though women can have hair too. Even I have 3 little hairs and I just live with them and manage. In short, let's be kinder. Here's what I wanted to say. You often show some interesting, useful content. Since that's the case, you didn't tie your hair back, and yes, I do have a video where I actually tied my hair back once. That was my shy little sister. She said, "Lol, look at you." In the comments, they're writing, or they're going to write, that my fingers are hairy, that there are even 3 whole hairs there. So we did that for her there. It was such an interesting event, but we're already finishing the installation of the correction system on the first leg. And notice, there are 2 of them here. You can speculate in the comments about why exactly 2 were installed. But I think the answer is obvious and right on the surface. Still, I'll leave you some room to guess. And soon we'll move on to the second leg, and just to give you a heads up, the situation there is simpler. It's not as complicated as with this leg. There's some twisting and some curvature, but not to the same extent. Here there were just huge ski tracks left, and now it's definitely become easier for him. And here is our second leg, which also definitely needs trimming of the free edge, and of course the installation of a correction system. Here we see thinning again, and let's talk a little bit about this. Why do we file the nail plate? If in manicure an overfiled nail plate is not recommended because it's too thin and the coating will peel off and so on, then in pedicure, in some cases you need to reduce the thickness of the nails so that it becomes a bit more flexible and even opens up a little. You can, even if you have a client with very curled nails after working with a carbide bit, or you can even do it with a file. It will just take longer. You can take a photo, yes, a photo. After you file down the thickness, you may notice that the nail opens up a little, meaning it becomes a bit easier for the person. Of course, this is not a cure-all and not a way to deal with a healthy nail, but it's a procedure that will allow the correction system to work a bit faster and make the client's condition easier. And now I'm looking at all of this and thinking, why is my mouth watering? You probably have this too when you watch all this picking, and I just start drooling while I'm voicing the video. It even gets a little bit awkward. Okay, let's get back to our nails. You might ask what spray we're using here. This is a special spray that has a softening effect. It's Prantaman spray. There are also similar sprays, more budget-friendly and affordable under different brands. I'll also leave a link to this brand. Because we use this product under the discs, since we work a lot with nail files. And of course, oil is our absolute must-have. We offer it to clients for home care and use it daily in our work. So they also have a special spray, which is a great alternative at a good price. It comes in a good size and it works just as well. Why did we use Prantaman spray here? Most likely just because it was close at hand. There are a lot of different cosmetics at work, and sometimes you just grab whatever is closer. Maybe someone else already took the other one. Next, we continue to clean out everything that has accumulated under the nails. There's quite a lot on this foot too. Just look at how much we're getting out here. With every movement, I feel such incredible relief. I even want to let out a little sigh. We also use a buffer, just like we do before applying a coating, to prepare for installing the correction system itself, a correction system that we actually borrowed from dentists. We use almost the same set of liquids as in the gel polish system, except that they dry under a special lamp, meaning a lamp for gel polish. You won't be able to dry this yourself. It's the same kind of lamp that dentists put in your mouth when they do fillings. And these gels themselves are called composites, and they are also used by dentists when they do fillings for you. And there's also a primer here, and there's also a degreaser basically. It's all the same, just in a bit of dental language, so to speak. I don't know, maybe someone has tried it. I often get asked if you can do this with regular gels or polygels. Honestly, I haven't tried it myself. If anyone has, let me know, but for some reason I'm a bit afraid that it won't hold. By the way, we found a little wound here, so we sealed it with glue. BF is also one of the methods. It's a really good thing. I sometimes use it myself when I cut myself because it seals the wound perfectly. I highly recommend having this remedy at home, even in your first aid kit. So getting back to the method about gel. Yes, if anyone has used gel or polygel to install a titanium thread, please be sure to write. I'm really curious if it works or not. I just don't want to experiment on clients, although maybe I could try it on myself. Well, as they say, good ideas always come afterwards. Meanwhile, Lena, our first client, whom I forgot to mention earlier, will be working, and I'll show her at the end. Meanwhile, Lena is installing the foam for us. They will need everything to be as comfortable as possible, and they will definitely need synthetic material so that it doesn't rot. And so I secretly filmed Lena a little. She was very pleased and happy because we have a new office, our first client, and we were just very, very glad. Thanks for watching. Bye. Take care of yourself and your nails.